Welcome back to the Georgia First Show. We're doing something a lot of fun today, something totally different than we've ever done before. We're not talking about politics, not talking about current events, nothing from the news, but we are talking about something that has to do with our culture and our valuable way of life here. We're talking about food today, and my first time ever to have a chef here on the television show. And we also now want to talk about a brand new book that she has out with Pelican Publishing Company. It's entitled Sweet Auburn Desserts. Chef Sonja Jones here with me is the author, and the subtitle here is Atlanta's Little Bakery That Could. And Chef Jones, you've already kind of set up the stage a little bit for the book. Tell us what a person's going to find here in this book.
Well, first of all, they're going to find out a little more about Sweet Auburn. I found a lot of people have heard of Sweet Auburn. They don't really know what Sweet Auburn is. They know of Auburn Avenue, but historically, it was a really rich street for African Americans, and it is in a historic part of town, and so it just tells you more. It even was there. Dr. King's birth home is down the street. You have his the visitor center, and you have the historic church. So it's a lot. It's a lot of richness, a lot of rich heritage on Auburn Avenue.
One of the things that people that are not from here don't understand is that, by and large, except for people that, if people just leave us alone, we Georgians, we Southerners, we pretty much get along well with each other. And the cooking traditions that are from the African American community, they're just an integral part of our Southern culture here.
Definitely.
And you really would be hard-pressed to find a difference between what your grandma cooked and what my grandma cooked.
Exactly.
And it's just amazing the wonderful blend that we have here in our cooking traditions here in the South.
Exactly. We're all yearning for the same things.
That's it. That's
we have different stories, but we all yearning for the same thing. So that's one of the first things you find. You know, you have pictures of like the Sweet Auburn, you know, with the municipal market. Historically, that was the first market in Atlanta. So those are things I felt were important. And again, I named the bakery for the district, Sweet Auburn Bread Company. So you can see that the Sweet Auburn is an important part of the history of that part of downtown Atlanta. And then, of course, we talk about my story, and it talks about it even talks about my parents' history, growing up on farms and how they actually came to Atlanta and pretty much did the same thing here. I remember them having a mule and just growing things, and other than that, going to the farmers markets, the state farmers market, you know, but there was about bushes of things. So as I said, I remember, like, you know, just having large amounts of things, even bushes of peaches to peel, you know. But of course, we have fig trees, peach trees, we go outside, blackberry bushes, so all that's, you know, a part of it. And it just talks about, I mean, when I look back on it, I couldn't have put this story together, okay, to make it end up how it has. But so it talks about that history, so I was still kind of staying in kitchens, drawn to food, you know, and got my education, you know, professional as well as home trained and mother trained, and coming back to Atlanta and opening up the bakery, getting a good reception of it, and then just getting a lot of requests for the recipes and things that I've been serving there. So it's just was a time to do it. So you start off with maybe like pies. I have like old-fashioned buttermilk chest pies. A lot of people don't know what chest pies are.
There you go, making my mouth water.
You know, people say they're chest pies, and then of course the sweet potato custard is in there. We have the pound cakes, you know, the old-fashioned pound cake. Then I have like chocolate buttermilk. It's just a lot of the variation that a lot of people maybe have never had. I particularly really love the brown sugar pound cake that's in there as well. Puddings, I mean, the rice pudding, the bread pudding. It's a beautiful picture of the bread pudding in there with the raisins. And I remember my mom making bread pudding just with the old bread at the house, you know. Day-old bread is something they would use. So it's just really, it's no special utensils or ingredients or anything. They're just basic things that you're going to find in the store, and just want to get like the blackberry stack cake, blackberries in season, use fresh blackberries and make the strawberry jam or any of it. You know, we have the jams in the book. So cookies, oatmeal raisin cookies, we have the biscuits, and I have like this pure cane syrup sweetbread that my mother was just telling me a story about how her mother would make it for them, and that they had a local person that was making the cane syrup. So, and how she talked about how her mother would just send them out to the hen house, and it was funny because she said, well, how many eggs? She said, well, if they had 2 eggs out there, it was 2, it was 4, it was 4. It's as simple as that. But of course, I tested and researched, and I came up with a really great one. And so, It's just a lot of good little tidbit stories in there, along with some of the recipes.
So if you're sitting there watching this and you're getting as hungry listening and watching the show as I am sitting here listening to Chef Jones, all those recipes and more are right here in this book. Traditional Southern culture, Southern food, Southern recipes. And the title of the book is Sweet Auburn Desserts. You can find it probably in any national best-selling bookstore right here in the Atlanta area, wherever you're at. It's probably already sitting on the shelf. And if you say, listen, I want to see it for myself, I want to order it online, I don't want to take the time to go down there, you can find it at the Pelican Publishing website at pelicanpub.com, and you can actually order it at a reduced price directly from the publisher. They'll have it to you within about 3 days as well. So whatever your choice is, it's right within arm's reach of you. Now, one of the things, I'm going to take my first bite on camera here in just a minute.
Okay.
I know some actors have their first kiss on television. I'm about to have my first bite of food on television. One of the things you mentioned, though, is that how we used to sit around as families and talk when we were shelling peas, peeling peaches, pulling the husks off corn.
Yes.
We don't do those things anymore, and I'm afraid we don't spend the time talking as families anymore. This all ties in really to our heritage.
Yes.
And how we should be spending time with families and passing on our culture and the family history and things like that.
Yeah, we have to slow down, and of course that's why the recipes are simple. You don't spend half of your Saturday morning. Time's precious because we have, everyone works in the family, the mother, the father, etc. So there isn't a lot of time, but it doesn't take a lot of time to do these simple recipes.
Well, and I'll just tell you, I'm so glad that you came, and I want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Ray. I was so happy to bring these items
Well,
for
listen,
you.
After the show is over, I'm going to try that sweet potato cheesecake.
Of course.
It's calling my name over there, but I'm going to try your pound cake here before we cut away. And folks, all of these things are available right there. You go to Auburn Avenue and get them in person, or you can order them online. Oh my goodness. It's so good and so light and so fluffy. And thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Folks, you can find all of this at Chef Jones' website. I hope you'll go there for yourself, or better yet, go downtown and visit the bakery for yourself. But until next week, I'm your host, Ray McBerry, reminding you it's not Atlanta, not Washington, but Georgia first.